Hello, ho, ho, ho. I hate myself. And welcome to a special Christmas and New Year's episode of the Unrefined Jagoff. Yeah, it's 3 holiday-themed episodes in a row. You got a problem with that, buddy? I didn't invent holidays or calendars. Take it up with Joseph P. Calendar. The P stands for poop, and he's not real. Anyway, welcome to episode 11 of the Unrefined Jagoff. I'm your host, Ian Cavelli. If you're a first-time listener or just listened to 10 episodes without noticing some sort of pattern, somehow, the podcast is a collection of my stories, quotes, ideas, incoherent ramblings, or whatever I feel like talking about. The holidays are closing in. It's the season of giving people the finger while driving. Apparently, there's some part in the Bible that says Jesus wanted people to trample each other to death and cut each other off in traffic just to get their kids some toy they'll forget about in a month. If you're like me this time of year, your broke ass can't afford much else right now. So lucky for you, this episode is free! When I was younger, anything we'd ask my dad for during the holidays was, "You don't get that till Christmas!" "Dad, can I have a glass of water?" "Christmas!" "Dad, my toes ripped through the front of these shoes. Can I get "Not till Christmas!" "Dad, I need a new liver to live or I'll die." "You don't get that till Christmas!" Now, my dad's probably listening to this thinking, "Hey, no one's ever needed a liver for Christmas." And he's right. But the point is, it's not as funny if I don't embellish or something. But I get it. Everyone's broke this time of year because we think it's a good idea to max out a credit card on 60 Tickle Me Elmo dolls to give little Jimmy on Christmas morning so he can break it and forget about it in 15 minutes after unwrapping it. Truth be told, Christmas as an adult, as most people know, is more hassle than it is fun. I mean, for crap's sake, the other day I thought to myself, boy, I sure do hope I get more t-shirts and underwear for Christmas. But as a kid, I'd probably have rather worn the same ill-fitting jorts for another 3 years, rather than not get some radical turbo boogie board extreme 3 max with flame decals. Honestly, I'm getting sick of doing holiday episodes because they are too structured and they require me to have them done by a certain time. Like, as I'm writing this, I had to take a day off 5 days before Christmas just to work on this. So, 2 things. 1, you're welcome. And 2, this is going to be the last episode of 2017. So, you only have to wait a few more weeks anyway for the next one. I mean, 2018, I'll be back to my unstructured, aimless rambling and can tell the stories that need to be told. Journalism! Who am I kidding? No one's listening! Anyway, back on the topic of Christmas and holidays. There's things I miss about Christmas when I was younger, and things I don't miss. One thing I definitely don't miss was opening our presents at the ass crack of dawn and loading into the car to go haul ass across states to Pittsburgh. I mean, I basically opened them and had to think about playing with them the entire time until we got home. What I do miss is when my brother used to wrap his own presents Christmas morning. Like, now that his wife wraps presents, they're all neatly wrapped and clean. When Eric would do it, one year he used 3 different types of wrapping paper, too much tape, and after he used up all the rolls of tape, he just taped the whole dispenser to the gift. What I can't stand now is driving to my parents' house after my brother has already gotten there, and getting 4,000 texts and phone calls asking, "Why aren't you here yet? Why aren't you here yet?" I don't know, maybe because I'm an adult with responsibilities and they haven't invented teleporters yet. But I usually get there just in time for breakfast to be cold and everyone to be done complaining about how I'm not there yet. Dad's signature breakfast is meatballs, sausage, bacon, and burnt toast with globs of hash browns and eggs I usually don't eat. If I'm the Grinch, this breakfast is the real reason my heart grows 3 sizes that day. I'm pretty sure I was still writing lists to Santa Claus as a teenager. And as a youngest child, I was pretty aware that, if there's any kids listening, cover your ears. Well, kids shouldn't be listening to this podcast anyway, but thank you for listening. And why are your parents letting you listen to a guy that swears and says dumb shit this much? Anyway, by that age, I knew Santa wasn't real, but I think I was afraid that if I didn't pretend Santa was real, either I'd stop getting presents or I'd be an adult already. And Santa, if you are real, I was just joking and you can give me a large stack of money for Christmas to buy groceries with. That's enough about Christmas for now. Let's take a Christmas break. Hello, Honorary Jagoff, and thank you for listening. The Unrefined Jagoff is supported by listeners like you. Actually, my day job is the only thing funding this entire project, so I haven't made a cent off of this shit yet. But that can all change if you get out your checkbook, write a check to me, Ian Cavelli, for the amount all the money in my bank account, and send it over. In return, I'll send you a picture of me giving you a thumbs up. but only if your check clears. Anyway, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, I guess Facebook, and whatever else to see my updates, spontaneously uploaded comics, pictures of dogs, dumb ideas, and more. Also, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and share with your friends on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever you kids are using to listen to podcasts these days. Ham radio? Is that hip? Well, regardless of what's hip, it's time to go back to the show! Here's an idea. To find out who actually listened to this episode or not before Christmas, I'll just tell everybody right now what I bought them for Christmas, just to see if they're actually listening. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I still haven't opened half the Amazon boxes that came, and I haven't wrapped anything, so I can't remember what I got anyone anyway. Now that we're mostly through December, the year is coming to a screeching halt. 2017 has been eventful. Some good, some bad, plenty of god-awful moments, but hey, we can try and be optimistic. And if you run out of things to be optimistic about, just drink. Heavily. Seriously, anytime you go on social media now, there's some new dumbass thing to get anxiety over. Apparently, everyone is just okay with being their shitty selves on the internet now, so I've unfriended, unfollowed, or just blocked probably a couple hundred people in the last few years. Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone is entitled to their own shitty opinion, but I'm entitled to my opinion that there's plenty of ignorant assholes on the internet that just like to argue and think that they're always right. It's not just politics anymore either. At any given time, someone's dumbass uncle is on Facebook right now posting something that's equal parts bigotry and grammatical errors. Or it could just be my Uncle Mark commenting, "Nice," on literally everything. There's a like button. All he ever writes is, "Nice." What's the point? And here's another thing that needs to be put to rest. All these product versus product, brand versus brand bullshit debates, Marvel versus DC, Apple versus Microsoft, iPhone versus Android, Xbox versus PlayStation, console versus PC, Sega versus Nintendo. You have to realize by now, as an adult, that these are dumbass things that children fight over on the playground. Do you like one thing more than another? Good for you! Use it and don't use the other if you don't like it. Who the fuck cares? But there's people dying everywhere, every day, sometimes just to get the materials to make this shit, and you're fighting with someone over aesthetics and personal preference? Take a minute to think. Why does this matter to me so much? What difference does it honestly make? And if the answer isn't barely anything, then go play tag or kickball, you third grade idiot. Whew. Now that that's off my chest, it's almost New Year's Eve also. New Year's Eve hasn't really ever been that eventful for me. As a kid, all I ever remember doing is eating dinner at 4 p.m. to avoid the crowds, coming home and eating cocktail weenies and appetizers, then washing them down with sparkling grape juice to feel like I'm an adult. Later on, I think I spent a few with my friend Daniel, and I'm pretty sure we played N64 games all night. I only really remember playing Cruisin' USA, but I don't think we actually played or had that game, so it's probably a fake memory. But there's this song in it where the lady goes, "Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, 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 ooh," for like the entire race. And then there's also that guy that goes, "Cruisin'!" And other than that, that's really all I remember. But besides that, I mostly sat at home playing video games alone or staying up until 5 a.m. watching TV with my mom. The last 3 years I've just spent with Christina, her mom, her aunts, and have really struggled to stay awake until midnight. Most of them kind of discourage drinking or doing anything other than eating, so I pretty much just get fat and try not to pass out. Now, 2 years ago was interesting though. At maybe 7 p.m. at the latest, we went to pick up Christina's aunts. And on the way back, there's this big drunk lady in sweatpants stumbling out of a taxi and into the road. It takes her a while to actually get out and start trying to cross the street because she's obviously way too drunk for motor skills. As she starts walking, her pants start slowly falling until they're around her ankles, just bare ass to the world until she steps on a patch of ice and falls flat on her face, or her ass. Either way, she was lucky that some saint was out there and rushed to help her up because that image is burned into my retinas and has been branded onto my brain. Well, since it's the end of the year, I'll try and reflect on some good memories. Christina and I both got to see a few of our best friends get married. I got a new job, I started this podcast, and, well, I'm running out of time to think of things for this. I've been reading this out of a notebook the entire time. Usually I read it off my computer screen after I type it, but my handwriting's just illegible. I don't really have much else written about this, but I will talk about my top 10 albums for this year. Let's start with number 10. I'll work my way backwards. I think that's how most people do it. I didn't do it that way on my website, but you know what? Go read it at the website if you want it the opposite way, okay? Number 10, Pure Hiss, their self-titled album. It's pretty good. It's Detroit Power Violence. It's their first album. It was their demo, but now it's apparently their self-titled album. It's good. Go check it out. Number 9, Butcher ABC, North of Hell. It is a Japanese death metal band. They've been around for a while. This is their first actual full-length album. Some new tracks, some old ones. Kind of a mix. It's pretty good, though. Number 8, Memoriam, For the Fallen. If you like Bolt Thrower, it's Carl Willits from Bolt Thrower, so, I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. The man's the best. Number 7, Satyricons, Deep Calleth Upon Deep. This one's, it's pretty good. It's Satyricon. Some people have their opinions about them, and they can go to hell. And it's a bit different than their old stuff, but just go listen to it. I don't know. Number 6 is Mets, Strange Peace. I can't even talk. Strange Peace. I pre-ordered the tape, and it's pretty good because it was cheaper to pre-order the tape than it was to just buy the digital album for some reason. It's good noise rock. You go listen to it. You know what? This is why I'm not working on any websites for metal or music or anything. Number 5, Pissed Jeans, Why Love Now. It's a pretty good album. I would check it out. Listen to It's Your Knees. That's a good song. Number 4, Satan's Pilgrims, Sinestro. Good old-fashioned surf rock band. They're good too. They're good. You should listen to them. Number 3 is Dalek's Endangered Philosophies. Good old hip-hop, also from Michigan. They're good. They're good. You should listen to them too. Number 2, the OBGMs. It's some they're self-titled. It's garage rock. It's good. It's good also. And number 1, coming in at number 1, Impalers, Cellar Dweller. It's a Texas hardcore band. If you haven't listened to them yet, you should go listen to them. It's all on Spotify except for a couple of these albums. I'm not going to tell you which ones because I don't remember. But I also have on Spotify, I made a playlist of a bunch of stuff I thought was good from this year. And my sinuses are really messed up. Anyway, now that everyone has stopped listening, I think that's a good place to end it. As always, I'm your host, Ian Cavelli. All writing, recording, and production is done by me in my bedroom studio. Music by Satan's Basement. Remember, support the arts, humanities, public media, your local comic book store, and of course, each other. Don't be dicks to each other, show empathy, and be a good person where it counts. That's it for now. Stay tuned for the... Sorry about that. Stay tuned after the outro song for a special Satan's Basement Christmas Carol and some words from our sponsors. Oh wait, I don't have any. Get out, I'm crying. Happy holidays, nerds. So here it is, Satan's Basement, Hail Santa, a Christmas classic. Here you go. And for being so good this year, here's another one, an Ian Cavelli original, The Ballad of Christmas Pig. It's Christmas time for Christmas Pig. Blank says the Christmas Pig. He is such a Christmas pig. Christmas Pig all the time. Christmas Pig, you are so cool. Why won't you invite me to your house for a dinner? Oh boy, Christmas Pig, this is such a good song. Glad that I wrote it for you.